Hear the loon in the background there. And just looking back at where we launched. So we're coming off the logging road and we're going down to Morton Lake campsite here, and we're going to be launching at Mohun Lake, Mohun South. So we're launching at the south end of Mohun Lake here, and we're going to be heading up toward the island. This is a pretty good little launch spot here, as you can see. We have a group here heading the route here, and we had our first man overboard here. This the first trip he's been on with you? And
no, he had an overnighter. We were from Quadra, so
okay.
From Village Bay.
We got 2 more kayaks doing the route here. And we don't see a lot of kayaks on the route, but so how's it been so far? How are you guys doing so far?
Second portage was difficult to work with the wheels here.
And that's between Higgins and Laurier.
Sure.
So it's a little. It was pretty roly-poly there on top of that little bluff, eh?
For sure. And then like, there's just a lot of like roots and stuff in the.
That's right. Yeah.
We ended up carrying the second one on the entire way.
Yeah. That's.
We've got a bigger set of wheels. Maybe you can roll over some of that stuff, but these clearly weren't designed for that kind of thing.
No. Have you done this route before?
No. Never.
Oh wow. Oh, okay, great. So the whole group here. This is a first then, eh? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, you're going to have a heck of a lot of fun, I think, on this, and it looks like the weather's going to be.
Weather's supposed to be fantastic. It's a little bit overcast today, but I think tomorrow and Sunday is supposed to be sunny. Monday might be overcast again.
Yeah, oh, that's great. That's fantastic. My daughter's behind you by I don't know how much, but there's a group there. They might. I don't know if they'll catch up to you or not. They're 2 canoes, and I'm the kayaker. They're the canoers. Well, that's good then. Well, I'm going to wish you good luck there.
Thank you.
Super.
You play in the water like you play with babies.
And there's we got laughter now. So we've recovered. Who's the next one that's going to go overboard? Maybe Mom? Yeah, maybe Mom? Maybe Dad? Okay. What's your name?
Brecken.
Brecken? So Brecken, you went overboard, didn't you? But you're in pretty good humor now, aren't you? You must have enjoyed it. Maybe you're going to do it again? You're a good little canoeer, I can tell. You're going to have a lot of fun up. You know where you're camping tonight? Where? Campbell River. Good, yeah, good stuff. That sounds like, and maybe go to McDonald's, eh? Okay.
He's going to head back to town. He doesn't really like it.
He's having fun. So we're getting ready to launch here at Mohun Lake of the Sayward Forest Canoe Circuit. And our first stop's going to be out at the Big Island there. It'll be anywhere from 15 minutes to half an hour paddle, depending on how fast you are. And we're taking our kayak and we're loaded up, ready to rock. Got our loot paddle, and hey, it's a killer day. From the south end of Mohun Lake here, we'll launch from the recreation site, and we'll paddle up. There's 2 sites, recreation sites on the Big Island, and we can. I'll show you in the videos several of the sites on this lake. There's quite a few sites that you can stay in. The south side is the more popular site. The north side is a little more quaint. We're heading here toward the Big Island on the south end of Mohun Lake, and this is certainly the biggest island on the Sayward Forest Canoe Circuit. It's an island you could explore, do a little bushwhacking. There are a couple of sites on the island, and we're going to go take a peek at it. It's the first camping spot after the Morton Lake camp spot, the recreational site on the south end. So there's a good little landing, and it's fairly protected from nor'westers. So just kind of going over the site here. It's we've got the one site platform there for a tent. There's 2 behind me in the bush there, and a couple nice little benches there. There's your burner, So this is the biggest island on the route. Just heading up on the west side of the island here, heading to the north end. It's just quite impressive. Somebody spent a little time on this baby. So we're up on the north end of the island here, and we're gonna walk over toward where these cairns were. It's just quite impressive. Somebody spent a little time on this baby. It is. It's quaint. You got your burner. It's another spot. If the other spot's full, you can come over here. It's certainly a nice little spot. And you don't need really a platform here. You can set up. You've got lots of area here to set up. We're looking up toward the north end of the lake. We can say we're looking toward the Narrows. That's where we're going to be in a short while. And that's toward the Narrows. And just around the point there is Morton Lake. And then the spot that I was telling you about, the other site, a beach site, it's right up in there. So we're quite a distance here from it. But from there you can paddle up. There is a small site on the we'll say about halfway up the lake there on the east side. It's a small beach, quite a sandy little beach there. Good for a couple of tents at the most. And then we'll be paddling up. We can pull into Morton Lake, a campground. This area is also a starting point. You're looking at a fair amount of sites in there. It is a paid site, so you have those options to keep going, or you could actually keep your vehicle here and start from this point. I'm kind of pointed toward the beach spot that I'd mentioned earlier. It can be missed quite easily if you don't know where it is. So we're coming in a little closer to the beach site here. We're going to look at this spot. It's not a spot that's well known, but it's a beautiful little beach, and there's enough room for one tent. A little look at our site here, looking out at the beach here, and I say the beach extends quite a bit as the water gets lower towards summer. They've built a little bench somebody's built, and a little table over there, so it's a cozy little spot. Lots of room for a tent, maybe two. There's your burner, and there was a biffy in the back there. And I'm going to stop and have some lunch here, so we can take a bit of a peek there at where the island we came from, way down to the south end there. And we're going to be relaxing here for a little bit and then heading north toward the Narrows. As we're heading up in toward Goose Lake, there is a spot not shown on the map here. It's right up in this corner here. It's actually a nice little spot. Several tents could be in that spot. As you continue through the Narrows here, you'll go through some old remnants of some old railway bridges and logging bridges. And we do have a spot that is on the west side here. It's good for one or two tents. As we go into this hidden lake here, we've got a couple nice spots. This one in particular, it'll hold several tents, and beautiful view of the sun going down over the lake. A nice little fishing lake there. As we're heading up, we'll see an island in the middle of the entrance to Goose Lake there. It's a very popular spot. With a little luck, you might have a chance to camp there. It is usually busy. But there is an equally nice place just up into this northwest bay here that is good for, 3 tents. And then we continue past the big island here, and we're going to head up to the north end of Goose Lake. So we're looking over the point here. I've just sort of shown you the entrance to Morton Lake there where the campground is. And this is where the old railway came around here, and we're going to head up toward the trestle there. There's the Narrows straight ahead. to the right, and we're looking north now, and over to the right, in a little corner there, is a camping spot. A lot of people don't know about that. So I'm going to zoom in on it there. So that's just before you go into the narrows between Morton Lake and Goose Lake there. There's a little camping spot. We'll see if we can just see a bit of the beach there. There it is right there. We're looking at the Goose Narrow site, which is on the west side of the Narrows, and it's good for a couple of tents. We have paddled into Hidden Lake to the spot that is off the circuit paddle route. So let's head toward the island. So we're heading over toward the popular camping spot. Just come out of the little lake there that connects with Goose, and we're heading north. And this spot is, if it is vacant, is a beautiful little spot. So again, this is a really nice little spot. You pull your canoe up over there to the starboard or right hand side there. You can see it there. Just pull it right up there. It's easy to get up. I've seen people swimming when the water is warm in the summer. And then we're going to look at a spot before we get to the north end of the lake. There's one more spot I want to show you. And there's another little entrance, little bay over here where I'm pointed. So you would beach your boat there. There's your spot. We're now heading north into Goose Lake Pond, where the portage site is. The wind has just died right down. It's beautiful right now. It's almost glassy. That's pointed toward the Narrows, going into the north end of the pond that the portage is at. So we're going to go through that little narrow entrance there. So there's the Narrows, and we just saw the wind swing around to northwest from southeast. So it was dead calm, and now got a couple little gusts there. Now we've gone through the entrance from Goose Lake into the little pond to the north here, and we have a recreation site here as well. That road, actually, it's a four-wheel drive trail, leads up to the main highway if you had some kind of emergency and you had to get out of there. This is a pretty good little recreation site. There's outhouses, and you've got several camping spots there. One fairly high up, and another one right down where you're going to land, and it's good for, I've seen eight people in there, half dozen tents in there. That is the start of about a 1.6 kilometer portage. It's a climb, and a fairly good trail, and it's going to take you up to a series of ponds. So we're just about at the camp spot, and we'll swing around here just so you can get a bit of a peek at it. There's the little wharf I made up that took a beating through the winter. A lot of those planks came from the old the real old trail, the original trail. They rerouted it where they had a couple of bridges crossing and a bit of boardwalk, and I just salvaged what I could. And this dock has been rebuilt numerous times through the years, but this winter was especially hard on it. The high water and southeast gales basically split it apart there, and part of it's sitting at the north end of the pond. In 2016, some energetic people replaced the old dock with a new dock that extends quite a ways out into the pond. During the hot summer days, it'll be great to dive off of because it has a ladder for climbing back out of the water. The actual forestry recreation site sits up on an embankment. It has the burner, and I've put a bench up there, but it's usually pretty bare. A lot of the canoers coming through like to use the lower section where I've built some tables and benches. Most of our campers keep this site very clean and have added tables, chairs, and benches. Unfortunately, some people are trucking in pallets and they're burning them right where we pitch our tents. This means the rest of us have to clean up pails of nails before using the site. Be cautious if you're walking around in flip-flops or your bare feet. So there's the trail coming out of Goose Lake. That road goes up to the highway, and we head over this way here. We are looking at the trail that goes down to Twin Lakes, or up to Twin Lakes, because we're climbing a few hundred feet.
I've had too much wine for Thursday night. It's only 6 o'clock, too early to be kissing outside. It's hard to fight it though, oh, when your eyes are that blue. And I don't care if all New England knows that I want you, 'cause I do. Bit of a breeze, but it's the brightest April